This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Let's talk about Jim Cornette. He's been pretty vocal at times about your current employer, AEW, and he's not always a fan, but everybody has a right to their opinion. And some people sort of freestyle that, well, that's what he's looking for. He's looking to be controversial and contrarian. But you've got to have some fun Jim Cornette stories from back in the day, right?
Well, just, Jimmy was Jimmy. And, he would to this day speak his mind no matter what the consequences.
Yep.
And, there was one time I was driving and, Dennis was driving. I think we were in Dennis's Lincoln or something. And it was Dennis driving and Jimmy was sitting in the back with me and Bobby was in the front. And Jimmy said something. Now we're going down the interstate, I think probably doing 75 or 80. And Jimmy could clarify exactly if he wants to remember this or not at what was said, but he popped off something. And I could tell Dennis was just getting pissed. And I could just tell he just was kind of cutting his eyes back towards the back seat. And I think he actually even warned him, said something about, hey, Jimmy, or just take it easy. Just let it go, whatever it was that Jimmy was harping on. And he said something else in a couple of minutes, and Dennis just turned around and reached in the back and snatched Jimmy by the collar and almost pulled him in the front seat. Now, he's still driving 80 miles an hour.
Right.
And just said something, barked at him something, and let Jimmy go. And he sunk back in the seat and was one of those deep gulp moments. And I guess it had happened talking to Bobby Eaton. We got pretty quiet in the car there for the rest of the trip. When we got there, I went, Bobby, what in the hell? That was pretty serious. That would have broke up a lot of teams,
Right.
It was that physical. But he said, oh, Arn, they do it all the time. No big deal. And I guess it's just Cornette speaking his mind. And I've always known him to be that guy. Now, the difference was back then you had a locker room full of guys. It was a locker room mentality. The F-bomb was said every other word. Cursing was said every other word. The language was terrible, but it was just part of the culture. It was what it was. And we were a closed set. We're a bunch of traveling gypsies, and we kept it all contained within our world. And that's why it never offended anybody. It was no big deal. It's just part of what we did. In today's world, with all the things going on with Twitter and everybody having a camera phone and all that, and once you have an opinion and you post it out there, it lives forever. Take it down if you want to. This is my understanding, but everybody's already got it recorded and got a snapshot of it and a picture of it, and your comments live forever. So you got to be careful what you see and what you say, in today's world, and think about it before you say it. Jimmy was just a guy that I don't think he was afraid of anybody. He got into some arguments with Nikita, and, Nikita at the time was probably 280 pounds, but Jimmy wouldn't back down. I've never known him to back down, from an argument, and that's just the way he is. And he's got balls for days. That could be on your epitaph maybe one of these days, but run across the wrong argument, but who knows?
Well, I'll tell you, I know that, we get some rather mean tweets about Jim every now and again. And I've always had a great time with Jim. He's always been very nice and polite and respectful to me. And I treat people how they treat me. And I listen to his drive-through episode. He's got 2 podcasts every week. And back when things were a little more normal and I was having to travel for work in one capacity or another every week, it was like my go-to podcast. So, I dig what he's doing, and he's always entertained me. So I'm glad to hear that you had good experiences as well.
Yeah. I mean, Jim and I, we share these same fundamentals. Wrestling business is really just this simple. You go out and you try to make an audience like one group or one opponent and dislike the other. It's supposed to be good versus evil. Tell a story that makes sense, that gets you there, and then go out and perform if you're going to be a top guy, perform at a high level, and make any doubters go, well, he's there because he belongs there. That's where he should be, the top guy, and that's why the Midnight Express were on top for so long and so successful for so long was, anybody that wanted to knock them, I just said, hey, go out, outperform them. You want their spot? Take it away. And nobody was able to do that because they had all the components. They had the work rate. They had the looks. Jimmy had as good a promo as anybody out there and could tell stories better than anybody out there and make you want to kill the guy. That was his job, and he never wavered. In today's world, you got to look at everything independently, and before it's like what I was brought up on, what I thought was a great wrestling match and what is a great wrestling match today, and perception of what the audience wants are probably two different things. But the one thing I'm teaching myself to do is I've got to evolve and go along to get along. And if I can't add something positive to what I'm seeing out there, then I just keep my mouth shut. And, that's my mentality, and that's how I'm able to still function, with a bunch of 25-year-olds. I hope that's the case, and always tell the truth as you see it. And that's it. But I never had a crossword with Jimmy about anything.
I can't believe this is a question, Arn. Jimmy wants to know, and I don't know why he wants to know, boxers or briefs?
If I had my druthers, I'd be naked.
Alrighty. That's an answer I wasn't expecting.
But briefs.
Do you, nope, I'm gonna let that one go.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.